Darian Thomas here, and today's video I'm just going to break down a realistic deal that could happen in Cleveland. I've sold properties like this before. This is, mind you, this is going to be a duplex, so obviously it's 2 units that's bringing in rent, but these are real numbers that could happen in Cleveland. Like I said, I've sold some stuff that are different margins. I'm going to go through a little quickly, but for the most part, just try to follow along as best as possible, and if you didn't get something, just rewind the video. So we're going to start off with a duplex purchase price of $75,000, right? So if the purchase price is $75,000, we're gonna go with something that's either fully occupied or we think that we can get the rents at $700 a unit, right? $700 top, $700 bottom, or vice versa, side by side. We're gonna break this down. So at $75,000, once again, we're gonna roughly kind of guesstimate that our closing costs are gonna be about 3%. So if our closing costs are gonna be about 3%, it's going to be about $2,250, right? So out of pocket for a closing cost, we're going to have to come up with $2,200, $2,250, right? Now our down payment on this is going to be 25%. Now, here's where I'm going with this, right? This is pretty common to see in Cleveland. A lot of banks in Cleveland, they want to see 25%. Why? Because this is a non-owner occupied duplex. What does that mean? Non-owner occupied duplex mean that you are not the person that's buying it. You are not going to be living there, okay? You're going to be renting it out to 2 different tenants. You will not be the person that's occupying the property. That's why you have to have such a high down payment. Now, if you wanted to live in the property, there's different, loans that you can get, whether it's a 3.5% FHA loan. If you want to do a typical conventional loan, once again, this is going to be lender specific. Understand what I'm saying. It's lender specific. So your lender may be able to do something better than this 25% down, depending on, I'm just going off of what typically, I see a lot is lenders are asking for 25% down. So just follow along. Like I said, our closing cost is 3% at $2,250, right? That's our closing cost. Our down payment at 25%, 25% of $75,000, okay? It equals out to $18,750. So now, here's what I did. I took this $18,750, which is our down payment, and I plussed our closing cost, which is $2,250, and that brings us to $21,000, right? So this is our cash to close. Now, what does that mean? The cash to close basically means this is the cash that you're gonna bring. So you go through a title company. Before you obviously get the keys, before the deed transfers over to your name, you have to bring cash to close. This would be your cash to close. So you need to bring $21,000, right, as your cash to close. So with that $21,000, once you wire that money, for the most part, title will then transfer the deed over to your name, which usually takes about 24 hours, I would say, next day, and there you go. You have your investment property. So I'm going to kind of go back over this really quickly. So remember, our purchase price was $75,000. Our rents were at $1,400 a month. Our closing cost was at 3% at $2,250. Our down payment, 25%, $18,750. We added those 2 up, our down payment plus our closing costs. It came out to $21,000. Okay, everybody kind of got that. That's where we are. This is basically what we're going to bring to the closing table to close the deal. $21,000. Now, these are kind of, once again, it's going to be specific as far as city, but I'm just using kind of rough numbers. So now I'm going to break down our monthly payment. So we got what our cash to close is, right? This is our cash to close. I'm going to break down our monthly payments so you get an idea of realistically what the margins are and different things like that. So let's just say our taxes are $1,000 a month, or $1,000 a year, sorry. $1,000 a year, which is a realistic number. So $1,000 a year, obviously we split that number into 12. We get $83 a month is what our taxes are. Once again, this goes into our monthly payment. That principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. This is what I'm breaking down. So insurance, we're going to say about $75 a month. Okay. Now, once again, please understand that this 5%, I'm using this as a general number. What you get, what your interest rate is, I have no idea. That's going to be, towards your lender. That's 100% a lender question, but I'm using this as example purposes only. So at a 5% interest rate, right? We'll disregard this. So I'm just using this as a number. But so you're at a 5% interest rate. Just remember that. So the interest rate that you get is 5%. So what is that going to break it down to? That means your monthly payment is going to break down to $453, okay? So what we're doing is, keep in mind this $18,750 came off this loan, right? So this $75,000 is subtracting from this $18,750. That's why it seems like your payment is so low. I'm going off a 30-year fixed for this. This is a 30-year fixed, okay? Got that? So this is what your mortgage is going to be, around $453 a month. Now, with that $453 a month, you have a profit of $947 a month, right? Now, where did this number come from? So I took this number and this number, and I subtracted it. So if rents you're making $1,400 a month, and you're subtracting your monthly payment, you get the $947 a month, okay? $947 a month. So from that $947 a month, I times that by 12. And this is what you get per year. So you're making $11,364 off of a $75,000 purchase price. Keep in mind, you're making $11,364 off of bringing $21,000 for your cash to close, right? Now, what I did is PM, I did property management. Property management usually charges 10%. So 10%, taken off of this, it's going to be about $10,228, right? So basically, whether you want to manage yourself or you want to have it managed by a property management company. Now, keep in mind, I didn't factor in water. I didn't factor in gas. I didn't factor in some, other monthly expenses. But I just want to give you a general idea. That's going to be up to you as far as if you want to put that, who you want to charge for that type of stuff. But at least now you have an idea. I always say, kind of rule of thumb is 10 months. I always do 10 months of this. So 900, it would be 947 times 10. So those extra 2 months I equate for vacancies, any type of fixes that I have to make, for the property, different things like that. That's kind of how I use this. I usually, times this by 10 instead of 12 to get this number, because I think we all know that even though it is an investment property, there are things that you're gonna have to factor in. But that basically is how a deal is broken down. These are real numbers in Cleveland. So if you're looking to invest in Cleveland, this could potentially be you. We do have great margins out here. But please feel free to contact me, and I would love to assist and help you out. And that's it for today. Darian Thomas, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and be more videos like this to come.